Well, guys, it's just one game, right? It's just one game. Nothing to see here. It happens, you know? You win some, you lose some. It's just one game. What is there to talk about, you know? They gave it their all. They gave an effort. Nothing to see here. You know? They may have got absolutely caved in their own end a lot tonight. They may have looked like garbage all night. It's just one game, right? You know, they only lost by one to a really good team, top of the Eastern Conference level team. They only lost by one goal. You got to take away the positives here, don't you? Just ignore the fact that these guys look like they're clocking into work and then they're looking to collect their paychecks and then walk out the door. Just ignore all of that because it's one game, you know. I'm sure they'll turn things around because that's what this team's known to do, right? This is like a known team that this is a team that's known for responding well. All sarcasm aside, yeah, the Rangers lost again. Who was surprised? They lost to a team coming off a back-to-back again. Lost to a team that put in their backup goalie, who, by the way, going into tonight has lost 5 straight games. They lost to that team. Toronto outplayed them heavily, despite coming off a back-to-back, despite their goalie not winning 5 straight games. And they outclassed the Rangers by a long shot tonight. And that wasn't even close to Toronto's best performance. I've seen Toronto play. They are way better than what they showed tonight. And they still kicked your ass. This hockey team's not good. It's just that simple. So leave a like on your way in. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications. All that stuff. Thank you for the super chat, Jay Lewis, with 2 $5 ones, which I'll read quickly. Under 6 minutes of ice time. Great way to give them chances to succeed. Young players refuse to sign here to save their career. Fire Lavi, fire Drury. Apparently, there were a couple of people chanting to fire Laviolette during the game. Should have been him. Should have been fire Drury. Should have been fire the entire, blow this thing up from, head to toe here. Just blow it down to smithereens. Whatever the chant is, could have been any of those. But yeah, nothing like giving Brett Berard, which, it's funny too, because Steve Valiquette said the exact same thing that I was thinking after that first period, where you're watching Brett Berard and Brendan Othman get in on the forecheck and actually give some semblance of an effort. Nope, those guys don't get ice time. Not at all. And we continue to blame the players, though, for the lack of development, right? Like that, it's their fault. It's not the organization ever. They could do no wrong. These kids got to earn their ice time, which is true to an extent. But look at the difference in the way Matthew Knies developed over in Toronto when they put him right next to Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner from the get-go of his NHL career, gave him power play opportunities, not top unit opportunities, but I mean, they run 5 forwards on their power play to let him get out there because of how good he is. Look at the way they developed him. And that's a 2nd-round pick there. This team, forget about it. Chris Kreider, by the way, stat padding king, baby. Round of applause. Ranger icon, look up. That's where that number's going. Let's play him instead of playing these younger guys. Play a checked out Chris Kreider, who's ready to be gone this offseason. Play an Alexi Lafreniere, who does not give a flying fuck at all. Play a Vincent Trocheck that forgot how to play hockey over the summer. Play a JT Miller that has not looked the same since the first week that he arrived here. Play those guys instead. And thank you for the $5 here, Jay Lewis. Berard and Othman under 7 minutes, not 6 minutes. Pathetic way to develop young talent. Yeah. Pretty much. What else? Keandre Miller was garbage today. One of the worst games I've seen him play, and that says a lot. Um, Adam Fox was terrible. I mean, who was good on that blue line? Maybe. Nah. I take back what I was about to say. No one was good. So, yep. This is this is great. Just nonstop turnovers, and that goal where Keandre Miller just made the drop pass to Adam Fox that he didn't get, and then Adam Fox just says it's your problem now, and Keandre Miller just chasing Nylander, and then you have Chris Kreider and JT Miller just standing like lost dogs there in the D zone. It just shows it's a 5-man unit thing. They can't make passes out of their D zone. I mean, Sam Carrick in that, what was it, the second period, where he's just gifting it away. And then you also have like John Tavares just hung his nuts on this team. You have Vinny Trocheck just making a moronic pass. Keandre Miller with the dumbest step up I've seen of my life. Here comes a rush the other way. And Tavares scores that one. Igor probably should have stopped that one. But you know what? As much as I rip on Igor, and as much as I still hate the contract, they have ran this guy into the ground over the past 4 games. So I'm not surprised that he was off tonight. But the fact that you played him 4 straight games and you come away with 1 win, your season's done. I mean, they were done a while ago. Don't get it twisted. But that just further puts the nail in the coffin there. You start Igor for 4 straight games and you win 1. Then you have Will Borgen, though, who lost his man, which for some reason he's getting into that board battle for no reason there on that second goal. And there was that deflection there for McMahon. Not that Keandre Miller played that well either. So he also just let him go right to the net front. Hey, but Panarin scored. Scored a rebound goal. I don't know. That nice goal, though, like really just defined the way this team has played defense all season. And the third goal, the second Tavares goal, that is, you have Carson Soucy just falling on his ass the entire time, getting lost. It's a shame that we're so bad that we're begging for Calvin DeHaan here. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Because there's nothing really to say. It's more of who they are tonight that we saw. They don't forecheck at all. Well, the young guys do, but because they do, they ride the bench the entire game. They don't generate anything at 5-on-5. It's one and done. And if they do cycle in the offensive zone, they just settle for these stupid shots from the point that either get blocked or that miss the net by a long shot. They play like garbage in transition. They get beat off the rush all the time. They can't make passes out of their own end. All those are traits of a bad hockey team. If you weren't aware there. So, yeah. So you guys are saying right now. Would love to say. Would love to say. And yeah, the Islanders are about to lap them at this point. The Islanders are about to tie them in points, and they have 2 games in hand after tonight. You know what? They probably should have won at least one of those games they played against the Rangers earlier on in the year, probably two of them. So that crowd was so dead, though. That crowd was completely silent. I wish there was fire Drury chants, but it's fans in suits, so I don't expect them to even know who Chris Drury is. Yeah, same shit, different night. Yeah, that depends if they have their first round pick or not here. And if they honestly, I think it's better if they don't have their first round pick this year because I would rather draft in a stronger draft class next year and not give Pittsburgh the unprotected pick. Sorry, I was just looking at something on Twitter here. Which, speaking of which, I should see if there's any post game quotes to look at because that's become a famous segment here. Yeah, the only thing great about tonight's stream is that Johnny Gaudreau jersey and the Henrik Lundqvist thing up there. Both the Lundqvist things, I should say. It's really about it. All right, let's see if we got post game quotes though at all, because that's my favorite. Let's see. Probably not yet. Might be too early. We have the stat card. Carson Soucy was at the top, and he still played like garbage. Millard Fox at the bottom. JT Miller too at the bottom. That's not a surprise. He was horrendous. Um, Jones, yeah, that makes sense. Schneider wasn't good. No one was good. And yeah, not a surprise. It's like you're losing games anyway and you're not scoring goals. Just play the young guys, let them develop. And this power play, it is hilarious how broken it is. It's laughable. They get booed every single power play at this point. Yeah, too early for the quotes, it looks like. Thank you for the $5 Zach Jones Masterclass. God only knows God only knows what quotes we're going to get from the players tonight. JT Miller, goalless in the last 9 games. Alpha male, captain, culture changing. Not showing up in the most important stretch of the season. Like I said last stream, he's looking like a follower and not a leader, but I digress there. Yeah, his coaching staff makes the young guys battle for their minutes, and then they'll reward the veterans with more minutes for puck watching. And like I said in the last stream, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the last post game. Now that Lafreniere needs to be held accountable, they don't bench him. But when he was developing, nope, fourth line, healthy scratch, sit on the bench for stick handling through the neutral zone. But now that he needs to be held accountable, and now that he's a paid veteran, nope, go on out there. You're allowed to play like garbage. Yeah. Thank you for the $2, Shay Lewis, and I agree. I Gabe Perreault, there's no way he should be even interested in this shit. There's no way. What prospects would even want to get drafted here at this point? The entire culture of the franchise needs to change. I don't know how you do that I don't know how you do that because they extended the goalie to an $11.5 million deal for 8 years, and they brought in a 32-year-old JT Miller. And it's just, I don't know. I have no clue, zero clue how you do this. Yeah, JD is laughing his ass off. Gordon is laughing his ass off as what him and Kent Hughes are building in Montreal are lapping us right now. As the window's shutting, and there's his opening. Let's switch this to an Oiler fan page. I wish. I wish. Maybe for the playoffs, I'll pick a team to bandwagon and cover. If you guys are interested in me doing that, I could, but I don't know if I'm 100% going to. But yeah, it's only March. It's only March. Sens, Stars, Zuccarello and the Wild, Sens or Habs. Could do the Oilers. I mean, I'll say maybe I'll do something for the playoffs. Maybe I'll cover multiple games for the playoffs. I don't know yet. I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll do like a maybe I'll just do like a daily coverage, like just watch whatever games happen as long as I could, obviously, because to be honest, since the Rangers aren't going to be in the playoffs, I'm not going to clear my schedule for the playoffs. And, when the Mets are on, I'm going to prioritize them. But, yeah, we'll see. One cup in 85 years. Will the Rangers lose 4 in a row? I don't know. With the way things are going with the Knicks, I don't know if I have any interest in that either. Don't know if I have interest in that at all either. Why do I think prospects succeed when they leave? Because of the reason, literally just all the above. The development staff sucks. Um, the coaches neglect these guys. The system in Hartford isn't great. They just don't have the tools. Yeah. Keandre Miller, get back out there, even though you make 50 mistakes a game. Ironic that Laviolette was replacing Borgen for Ozone times. Meanwhile, he was one of the only guys to score. Yep. Um, what would my ideal offseason plan be? Um, I'd fire Drury the second the season ends. I mean, I wouldn't waste time and I'd want him fired today, but I don't think a perfect or any ideal offseason happens unless Drury goes. And it's not happening. And if you're asking what I would do if I was in charge instead of Drury, I would blow this thing to the studs and rebuild this roster. But Drury put it in a spot where how do you even do that? It's just such a terrible spot to be in. Steve Alcat calls this the most toxic and tragic team he's seen since 2004. Big men playing like Adams. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. And during the intermissions in general today, he was absolutely grilling them because he was just like, yeah, the effort's there, but the execution's definitely not because it's simple. They are not a good hockey team. But now they're locked into a lot of these guys. So that's where you could move Chris Kreider and bring in someone else, but it's one guy. It's one guy. You can move Keandre Miller on top of that and get a different defenseman. It's only two guys then at that point. Is that really going to make enough of a difference? No way. There has to be way more than that. This team is far from one or two guys coming in. And the problem is, I don't know how you tinker the roster outside of only being able to make one or two moves there. Because how else are you tinkering the roster? You're not trading Miller. He just got here. You're not trading Fox. You're not trading Igor. Panarin? Are you trading Panarin? Is he even going to waive? Zibanejad? Is he going to waive? Trocheck? He going to waive? Who's going? I don't know who's leaving. Yeah, I died of laughter when I saw this, though. That FanDuel had the Rangers as the favorites. Rangers. It's the most unlikable team I watched in a long time. For me, this is ever. Mika crying to the press about ice time. Laffy no showing after getting the bag. Trocheck giving Deeren headlight looks, etc. Yeah, this is the worst. They're the most unlikable team I've ever seen in my life. They are. And I can't understand why people think that me or some of you guys in the chat are crazy for feeling this way. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that people still defend this shit. Maybe they just care less. I don't know. But I just don't understand. Yeah, I'm gonna try to check the quotes now. If there's anything. Adam Fox pushed back on the notion that the deep hair juggling added to the confusion slash breakdowns. That's not why. Speaking for myself, that fourth goal key bumps it back. I'm shoulder checking and it goes right by me. That can happen. I don't know if that's anything to do with partners. Like I've said before, you want to have that chemistry with a partner, but I don't think tonight those were anything to do with chemistry. Those mistakes had anything to do with chemistry. All right. So basically saying it is affecting the team, but it's not. I don't know. Remember Lindor and Nimmo crying after winning the NLDS last year? Warriors that love the game and play for, I'm assuming meaning like the fans, the city. Yeah. Which is why a week from today, these clowns, you think they matter a week from today? Fuck no. fuck no. These clowns do not matter a week from today. I mean, they already don't matter to begin with, but especially a week from today. Nah, we good. We are absolutely good. Yeah, and then Laviolette saying they were switching things up with the D partners. It was about where we're at in terms of some zones together, offensive zone, defensive zone. Does that really matter? Like why is he trying to get so cute with that? Does that really matter? Like what statistics is he looking at to say that that matters? Like I'd love to know. It just you have Steve Valiquette like breaking down during the intermissions the weaknesses of the Toronto Maple Leafs and how you could beat them. And then the Rangers just have like this dinosaur thought that's like, well, you know what? If we put Will Borgen out there on faceoffs in the D zone, and if we put Keandre Miller out there for shifts in the offensive zone, like, really? What is that doing? Such a dinosaur organization. And this was my biggest worry when Phil Housley came aboard is that he was with Buffalo. And Buffalo, when they had him there, it's not great. Laviolette probably gone this offseason either way to where I don't know how much it matters to bring it up because he's probably gone. And the sad part is I can't even get excited no matter who they hire as the next coach. I will not care who the next head coach is. Will not care at all because it's going to be the same shit. They will I could tell you right now for free, if there was a way to place this bet, this would be the freest money of your life. They'll fire Laviolette, bring in a coach. It's going to work for, I don't know, a month or two, maybe three, if we're going to be nice. It will work for maybe 3 months. And people are going to think, oh, well, wait a second. This core, all they need was a new coach. They'll get that new coach bump for a bit. And then we're going to be back to square one. Could tell you that for free, it's going to happen. So that's why I don't give a rat's ass, truthfully, who the next head coach is. I do not care. Maybe some things will change. Maybe it will be a bit better, but this core, they've tried to get so much juice from it. No, it's gone, man. Habs tied it up. Great. Both teams will get a point now, so that will only hurt the Rangers more. Good, because I don't want this team in the playoffs. Yeah, this comment's true. I'll care who the next coach is if Drury's not the one hiring the next head coach. That's a very good point. And I 1000% agree with that. Um, let's see though. Any other post game quotes here that I missed? Let's see if there is anything. Nothing else so far. I don't know if you mean, will the next head coach have a better resume than Laviolette when he came here? I don't know. And honestly, like I said, if Drury's making the decision, I don't care at this point. And I agree with this. If you're gonna clean house, you do it 100%. You clean house to the core here. There needs to be new blood from top to bottom. Because this has just been the theme of the core. It's just that they're not having Igor and the power play save them right now. No more retreads. I will say this now, the only two retreads, the only two that I would be okay with, and even then, I still have to question it because of the group of players. So it's not even like 100% a thing where I'd be thrilled, is Mike Sullivan, or if, and again, I want to preface that this is more likely, this is not going to happen. I want to preface that there's a 10% chance, I would say, maybe probably less. I'll say 5% chance that this happens. Is John Cooper after next season does not renew his contract in Tampa Bay and hits the open market. That is the only way I would be okay with retreads at this point. And I know, but no one is saving the score. That's the problem as a whole, G. New blood, retread, it does not matter. Which is why it all ties back to what Matt said. As long as Drury's here, it does. Who cares who the next head coach is? Literally, who cares? Because that means the core is staying, and that means that the same thing is going to happen. And yeah, I mean, Cooper, there's no way he'd come here, especially if this is the group of players. There's no way he would want to come coach here. Unless they throw an obnoxious amount of money at him. But even then, I would stay and hit the beach. Hit the beach and coach some winners in Tampa Bay. And this is the problem. Where is the comment? I was about to pull it. This is the problem as a whole, though. I don't know who's going to want to coach here outside of first time head coaches. I don't know who's going to want to coach here at all. Why would anyone want to coach this? He has to go. Chris Drury has to go. It is the only way. And I hate to keep saying it every live stream and repeating it. It's literally the only way out of this shithole. Yeah. Nobody wants to come here. Everyone's laughing at them. I don't know. Like, that's the other thing, too, because we could sit here and, chop up some names of who the Rangers should maybe get this offseason and how they could replace certain guys in this group, like by moving Kreider and moving Miller. Who the hell on the UFA market is coming here? Who is walking into this building? Why would anyone come here? They would have to overpay guys by an obnoxious amount of money to attract them here. There is just no way they are attracting free agents this offseason. Maybe some bottom six guys. Maybe some more third pair defensemen that add to their collection. Who the hell else is coming here? Because they are just you're walking right into a tire fire. And I know this is really the biggest problem as a whole is that ownership won't care because they're still going to get their money. Yeah, can't wait for the optional skate tomorrow and no one to show up to it. Yeah, they'll overpay Sam Bennett. That'll be wonderful. That'll be fucking great. Thank you for the $2. Adam Bennett will re-sign with Florida. Maybe. Maybe he will. But I also could see a world where he doesn't because he's gonna get a lot of money because teams see a guy that plays with an edge that has a Stanley Cup. Nazem Kadri got a significant amount of money on the open market for that reason. Like pretty much the exact same reason. That contract doesn't age well, and Kadri is a better player or was a better player at the time than Sam Bennett is right now. So maybe, but I don't know if I see it. And this is why when people say, oh, well, this is like 92, 93, and they're starting to change the culture here. Where is their Mike Keenan coming from? And again, the difference is that team had talent. There was no salary cap back then. Where are the changes coming from? Islanders and Montreal in overtime. Throw that game on. Even though everyone's probably going to be ahead of me in the chat here. Although I'm probably going to shortly here. And this is my point. And yeah, this is the point. Drury must go before Laviolette, but both suck. 1,000,000%. Where is it coming from? I don't know how much it even does. I really don't know how much it does. And maybe I'm wrong, but there just seems to be a connection, a strong connection between Drury and Dolan to where I don't know if I see it. I think if they miss this year and next year, I think Drury goes. I absolutely think at that point Drury goes because Dolan would not accept them missing the playoffs 2 years in a row. I feel like he's going to let him off the hook though with one season of missing the playoffs. Maybe I'm wrong, and I would love to be wrong. Believe me, I would be to the moon if they fired Chris Drury. Because everyone asks, when am I going to smile these streams, you will get the biggest smile in the world if they fire Chris Drury. Yeah, he's 1,000,000% gone if they miss next year. I just don't know if I see it after 1 year of missing the playoffs. But that's just me. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. I'll see you guys in the next one.